I was impressed by this group's show of resilience on the second night of a back-to-back. I wasn't surprised because this is a Raptors calling card to embarrass themselves, like lose a game that they should have won, and then make up for it in the next game. But this team was impressive to watch. They kept up the relentless pursuit on the defensive end and somehow had the legs to make the shots that they made throughout the game. When it came to the defense, they held the Rockets to 37% shooting from the field and 36% shooting from three. They were 14 of 39 from three. They attempted more threes than the Raptors, which was the thing that cost the Raptors last game. They shot one too many threes. And from two, because this is a personal stat that I like to bring up, the Rockets were 11 for 28 and shot 39% from two. Now, on the Raptors side, they shot 31 of 61 from the field, 51%, 13 of 31 from three, 42%, and 18 of 30 from two, which was 58%. See, my thing here is that even though I was impressed by this team's performance, I'm still kind of annoyed by the decision to continuously shoot as many threes as they're shooting. It's nauseating, I think is the best way to put it. Because this team clearly has an advantage on the interior. There's no reason for them to do a 50-50 split with their threes and twos. It should be like 60-40, maybe 65-35, but not 50-50. Because that cost them last game. And they were clearly, excuse me, better than the Celtics inside the arc. They should have won that game. The Celtics collectively were 30% from the field, 26% from three, and 33% from the two. And the Raptors were 44% from two, 21% from three, and 33% from the field overall. Like, overall, in these two games, yes, it's two games, but it's still, again, impressive that this unit, in the limited time that they played together, have this level of consistency, at least on the defensive end, where they're holding their opponent collectively to 31% from three, 30 was it 36% from two, and 34% from 34% from the field. Is it 31 from three, 36 from two, and 34 from the field? If I messed up along the way and didn't say the right thing, I just repeated it, and this is why these videos go on for too long, because I keep forgetting what I have to say. But the Raptors shot 32% from three, 51% from the two collectively, and 42% from the field collectively. Collectively over these two games. The Raptors are clearly better. They've out rebounded their opponents. Now the turnovers kind of been in the favor, of their opponent, but defensively, like they're there. They're racking up the steals, they're racking up the blocks. There's no reason for them to be 1-1, other than their own stupidity of just chucking up one too many threes than necessary. But that, I think, is, no, let me go to this stat again, because it's the second game in a row where the Raptors had forced their opponents by halftime to have committed more turnovers, to have had more turnovers than they had made field goals. In this game, the Rockets had 12 turnovers and only 11 made field goals by halftime. Fortunately, the Raptors were able to not lose control of the game in the second half. It was dicey at times. There were multiple times where the Rockets cut the lead down from 18-5, but the Raptors bent, but they didn't break. Let me go through like the quarter by quarter. First quarter, back and forth. Terrible foul call at the end of the first quarter to give the Rockets 3 points. It was a weak foul. I saw the Raptors getting mugged throughout the game, and no fouls being called, but that weak stuff was getting whatever. The Rockets were up 2. Then back and forth still in the second quarter until the final 2 minutes and 11 seconds, where the Raptors went on a 14-4 run and ended up leading by 11 at halftime, which was, I mean, not really that surprising. Both teams shot 46% from the field. The Rockets shot 50% from three, and the Raptors shot 40% from uh, three. Rockets were 6 of 12 from three. Raptors were 8 of 20. But the free throws, of course, the referees were benefiting, well, given the benefit of the doubt to the Rockets. They were 6 of 12 from the free throw line, and the Raptors were 6 of 6. I mean, that's obviously a difference when the Rockets aren't making their free throws. And I already mentioned the turnovers and made field goals, but just one of those things where it's like, again, if the referees aren't getting involved that much, or if the opposing team is finally getting in their own way and, ball doesn't lie mentality kicks in, or logic, not mentality, or it's the same thing. Well, ball don't lie logic kicks in, and these guys are missing their free throws and are missing shots because they don't deserve the opportunities. Then of course the Raptors are going to be leading. Unfortunately, the Raptors committed 13 turnovers in the second half. Again, just not protecting the ball. First half, only 8 turnovers, but again, they were able to maintain the lead and not break. So second half comes around. The Raptors start off the first 2 minutes and 26 seconds going on a 10-3 run and push their lead up to the biggest that they had the entire game, 18 points. But then the Rockets responded between the 7-minute and 36 mark to 1 minute and 35 mark on a 22-9 run, cut the lead down to 5, did it a couple more times in that quarter before the Raptors finished the final 48 seconds of that third quarter on a 5-0 run, pushing their lead back up to 10. And then a little bit of back and forth. The Raptors are up 12, but then the Rockets go on a little bit of a run between 7:03 and 5:42 of the fourth quarter. It was a 7-0 run, cut the lead back down to 5. That's the last time the Rockets did that. And the Raptors close out the final 5 minutes and 7 seconds on a 16-8 run, winning by what you see on the screen here, 13 points. Don't know why I persisted on telling you how much they won by when you could see it on the screen, and I pointed that out to you. And again, this is why these videos go on longer than they should. So yeah, I think the Raptors had the advantage in rebounding, 37-30, had 28 defensive rebounds and 9 offensive. The Rockets had 22 defensive rebounds and 8 offensive. The Raptors had 21 assists and the Rockets had 15 assists. Everything else was pretty close. Surprisingly, the Rockets had more fouls committed than the Raptors did. It was only one. Well, actually, no, it's not actually surprising because the end of the game, the Rockets were desperate to try and get back into the game, so they intentionally fouled Jamarion Sharp, and he made his free throws, even though he struggled in the last game and he was struggling to start off, but he finished 5 of 8 from the free throw line, and basically was one of the 3 key players in this game. And yeah, the free throws were evened out, 19 attempts apiece, only because the Rockets intentionally fouled. It wasn't because the referees had a kind heart and were actually trying to be fair. But again, one of the bright spots, Jamarion Sharp. I'm making a separate video for him, and the other 2 bright spots, Tyreek Key and Seth Lundy. They balled out in this game and were a big reason why the Raptors won. But I need to talk about the bench collectively for this video, and 2 other players who didn't have impressive performances but were impressive in their own way to try and close this one out. The bench showed up in this game. Were also a big difference other than the elite shooting. I should have pointed that out at the beginning of the video. But the bench collectively had 45 points, shot 50% from the field, 12-24, 50% from 3, 4 of 8, and 77% from the free throw line, 10 of 13. Had 17 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks, and were a plus 20. Now, I talked about Key and Sharp. They were basically the standouts on the bench. Bradley and, was it Dagenhart? irrelevant, didn't really do much. But Hogard, he was okay. 7 points, 2 of 8 from the field, 1 of 2 from three, had 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals, and was a +7 in 19 minutes. It was an okay, worthy performance to bring up. When it came to the starting lineup, only Lundy was the bright spot there. Biddle and Graves each had 9 points. Graves took a step back, and Biddle was, he didn't really have the impressive defensive performance like he did in game one. Burnett, I guess he was okay. 14 points, 4 of 9 from the field, 1 of 5 from three, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, and had 3 steals. Yeah. Chucky Hepburn was the weird one in the starting lineup because he only had 2 points, was 1 of 5 from the field, and 0 of 3 from three. But he had 8 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and was a +23. I don't understand plus minus, but he led the way in plus minus. And I think that's it. Collectively, the starting unit was 19 of 37 from the field, 51%, and 9 of 23 from three, 39%. 20 rebounds, 15 assists, and 8 steals, and we're a +41. It's good to see that collectively there's still like the starting unit seems to have a chemistry there to where they continue being a plus, and they had collectively 57 points. But again, like I said, 3 guys getting their own separate videos because I don't want this to drag on, but I'm letting it drag on. And I think that's everything that I need to say in this video. Did I? No, I actually. Did I mention that the Raptors shot 18 of 30 from to 58% from the 2 point line? Again, like collectively, like the Rockets and the Celtics shot below 30% overall from 2, 3, and just from the field collectively. They've held their opponent to 31% from three and 36% from two and 34% from the field. The Raptors 32% from three, 51% from two, and 42% from the field. I'm only repeating this because I forgot if I said it. If I already said this, then just click off the video. I think that at this point I said everything that I need to say. The Raptors did what they had to do, shot well. Again, 65-35 in favor of 2-pointers when it comes to their offense is what I want to see more of because they're dominating them too. Nobody can stop them. They're only hurting themselves by having a 3-point shootout. So like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. I don't know why I'm blanking out at the end of the video there. Peace and God bless.